Like I said, it's almost daylight. You know, the day is actually coming up. It's almost like the sun is rising. You know, the birds are singing from that direction, I think. Yeah, that's the direction right there. You know, I've actually just been taking it easy. You know, I'm going with the flow with what's going on. You know, so I don't go out until later. You know, I drive Uber. So I don't go out until later on today. You know, I just drive for a couple of hours, you know. And I just think it's very important to stay positive, you know, especially at this time, you know. It's funny, when I first started this morning, because I went to the store yesterday, I wouldn't say I was down, but I was just shocked, you know. When I got there was nothing there. You know, it really blew me away, you know. But I just did my usual, went home, meditating, just went to sleep. And got up this morning and the same thing again, meditation. As a matter of fact, every morning this is how I get up. The first thing I do is I make sure I have some water in me, you know. I would drink like 1 hot water. Believe it or not, 1 hot water. And before I brush my teeth, I started this new habit where I stretch my body. I have a yoga pose for brushing my teeth. And once that's completed, I sit cross-legged and read, maybe like 2 pages. But there's something about sitting cross-legged and reading at the same time. As you can see, there's a lot of cars here this morning. You know, I like standing at the traffic light because it gives me enough time to rest. You know, since I run every day, I can get away with it. You know, I just stand, observe, and see what's going on at the traffic light, and just actually see what's around me. You know, what's around me, I just kind of just go with the flow and just look, you know, and be grateful, you know, because this is the last 2 miles of the 12-mile meditative jog this morning. And I'm just gonna stand there and just be grateful and just, you know, I literally do not try to rush and, you know, so that I could pass the traffic light. No, I literally stop there, and that kind of gives me enough time to think, you know, and whatever I'm pondering on, I'm able to suck it in, you know, right now. You know, so this traffic light is about to turn green, you know, and I'm gonna begin my track. So, like literally right now, I think it's safe for me to go. I'm just gonna walk it actually. And like I was saying earlier about, you know, doing yoga before brushing my teeth, and I think it's very important, you know, not to me, because there's something about that, breathing that air into my body before I brush my teeth. Then once I'm done, start the yoga, the meditation, then I read for it. It's really amazing, you know. And I always make sure I get at least, you know, 100 push-ups in, 100 to 150. And actually need to do more, but it's just that by the time I finish getting to all the poses and do the yoga, I can't believe 2 hours went by just like this, boom, you know, because that time I'm actually focusing, you know, and I'm twisting my body. And yoga is amazing because it is like a journey, because once your subconscious mind take over your yoga, it teaches you things that you wouldn't even believe. You know, it's almost like there's a God in your veins that you've never contacted all these years. Because what it will do, it will begin to teach you what you need to do. And you find yourself, when you don't do it, you get a little agitated. You know, because it's like you are Going against your grain, your own maker, which is you, your God. It's right there in your vein. It never leaves. And once I'm done with that, the stretching, the yoga, the meditation, and off I go. And here I am on the 12-mile meditative jog, 2 miles to go. So I've got like 10 miles in already, 2 more miles to go. And I just take it easy. And by the time I finish the 8 mile today, clarity is what I can think about. Clarity. Because I think, especially at this moment in time, you don't have to, but it's very, very important that we exercise and we move our body. You cannot deal with this emotion if you are not doing some form of exercise right now. You could try to pretend to others like everything is okay, like you are. No, it's just human nature. You have to have time for yourself. And that time for yourself would allow you to help the next person next to you. And that's how we'll come together as a collective consciousness, as a family. And we can all sit down and pray and manifest and wish for this energy to disappear. It is funny. I hear, I'm an atheist. I'm a theist. I don't get involved in all that because I truly see where everyone is coming from. I'm what you call everything. Because there's nothing on this body or in my mind that is not of God. There's not a thing that I'm not connected to. Even the trees. I'm looking at this beautiful tree right here. Let me see if I can see it. It's a beautiful tree. I'm just looking at it. Maybe I should just take a picture or something. How do you take a picture on this thing? I truly wish I could take a picture here. Actually, let me do this. It's just a camera right here. How do you take a picture on this thing? Man, biscuit. But that's what I'm looking at. I gotta learn this thing, man. Because this is the greatest time to be alive. There's so much technology around me. There's so much to learn that I almost don't have time to be getting angry. I love learning, and that's why I truly believe whatever it is that's going on right now is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's the energy, and for many it's funny, and not to mention the daylight is coming out. If there could be daylight, that means this beautiful virus is gonna go away. This is the time to be very, very mindful. This is the time to not let our emotions sink us down, because that thing is so easy. And especially, because this is the time we want to cling to food and sometimes almost not do anything. And your brain can trick you sometimes. What's going on? Is this ever going to end? Yes, it's going to end. And those are the things that we need to try to encourage one another to do. Because we can act like we get it, but this thing can also get hold of you. So, like I always say, everything is going to be okay regardless. These things has happened over and over in our history. All you have to do, whatever religion you are, because I've studied all those different texts. If you are a Hindu, pick up the Bhagavad Gita. If you're into, the Vedas, pick up the Bible. Pick up your Quran. And the Mormon Bible is there. The Torah. When you read all these books, because I went through all of them, because I wanted to know. And once I read all those books, I was able to be comfortable with who I am. I can look at myself and be okay with my traditional beliefs. I don't have to worry about what people think about it. So, but at this moment in time, pick up those books. There's a reference to what's going on right now that'll keep you at ease, for this beautiful moment. At this present moment, we are making history. And making that history means we have to be able to make that history, because the people behind us are still going to have to face the same situation right now. So however we deal with this situation is how we help the generation behind us. It is not just about this moment, about us, about being scared, and all that. No, it's not about that. It's about that collective consciousness. And the people in the conscious community know what I'm talking about. Because when we started to, study the things like cosmic consciousness, it is really amazing, because you go beyond religion, you go beyond theology, and you started to realize you are that theology, you are that energy, you are those things that they've referenced to in all these great books. And once we realize that we are that power, we are the world, like they say, everything will be okay. So I'm going to leave it like that today. I'm at that 2 more miles to go for this 12-mile meditative jog, and I'm going to say, breathe into the body, watch what you eat. If time permits you, just go outside and take a little breeze of water. Just, take a little fresh air. Take a break. And how do I also say this? A lot of time, people who don't work out, they feel intimidated by runners. And I kid you not, you should see some of these runners when they get to just mile 10 or mile 12 that I would do for fun. And you'd be amazed. The one thing about running is not doing it with the ego. When running, especially long distance, when you're doing it to compete, it becomes an ego to where you just want to show off. And it just, because there's a spiritual aspect to it. It's all psychology. There's a psychology to running. You cannot be trying to run fast all the time. It's just impossible. And you have to be very humble to push your body. And I mean extremely, extremely humble. So to a lot of people who don't exercise, like you, I'm still learning about running, believe it or not. And I do this thing the way I want to. I turn it into a prayer and a meditation. So if you want to go out for a walk today, give it a try. Know that when you're out there walking, you're speaking to your higher self, and you are building wealth within you. Till next time, Alafia. Odabo.